Grabber. Key components to writing a grabber are that the grabber should be the first sentence in the introduction, which is usually where it's found. The grabber also needs to grab the reader's attention and make them want to keep reading your essay. And lastly, the grabber should be written as a question, exclamation, powerful statement, or a well-known quote or saying. Do's and don'ts. Do's. Under the do's, it says that the grabber should capture the reader's attention, which is basically the job of the grabber. It should also include intriguing and captivating words to pull the reader in and make them want to focus and keep reading the essay. And 3, when writing your grabber, you should also try to include an interesting fact or quote relating to or about your topic. Don'ts. Try not to include basic or overused words in your sentence because that can make the sentence sound boring and it can turn the readers away from wanting to keep reading the essay. You shouldn't include your opinion or position because that's more of the job of the thesis and not the grabber. And you shouldn't write a sentence that wouldn't make you want to keep reading the essay. So examples of the do's and don'ts. Under the do's column, it gives the topic Harry Potter books versus the movies. A grabber for that statement could be, do you really believe the movies are better than the books? Under the don'ts column is a grabber that isn't quite as strong. For the same topic, it says, the books have more information than the movies. Next in the do's column is a topic that says, being a fan of Harry Potter. For the grabber, it says, do you really know everything there is to know about Harry Potter? Since this is a question, it can get the reader to think and want to keep reading to find out more information about the topic. In the don'ts for the same topic, it says, I am a big fan of Harry Potter, and this can actually seem more like a thesis statement rather than a grabber, since it's showing the author's opinion or position, which isn't really the job of the grabber. The third one in the do's column for the topic says, students being required to read Harry Potter books in school. And the grabber says, studies show that students who read fantasy literature stories such as Harry Potter are often able to understand in a different or more creative perspective. This grabber is using an interesting fact about the topic to grab the reader's attention, which works as a grabber. But the last one in the don't column says, reading Harry Potter books in school would be very different, which needs more of a creativity boost to become a more interesting grabber, such as more detail or more interesting facts that could pull the reader in. 5 more examples of grabber statements. For the first one, it says, the character Harry Potter. Did you know that Harry Potter didn't always believe in magic and wizardry? This grabber works because it's starting off with a question and gives the reader an interesting fact about the topic. The second one says, topic, lessons we can learn from Harry Potter stories. Grabber. One of the many important things we can learn from Harry Potter books is that our past will not change, but the future is up to us. This grabber works because it starts with a strong statement, also including an interesting fact about Harry Potter, which can persuade the readers to want to keep reading your essay. The third one says, topic, characteristics of Harry Potter that we can relate to. Grabber. You can probably relate to Harry Potter in more ways than you think. For example, by having traits such as loyalty, leadership, curiosity, and courage. This grabber can work because it's, again, starting off with a strong statement and using more vocabulary in the sentence, which can keep the reader interested and make them want to keep reading the essay. The fourth one says, topic, good influences of Harry Potter stories on children. Grabber. Studies show that the majority of students who have read Harry Potter books have become more interested in reading for enjoyment. This grabber works because it's using an interesting fact that will interest the reader and persuade them to want to keep reading. And the last one says, why more students should read Harry Potter books. Grabber. Statistics show that a large majority of students who have read the Harry Potter series would highly recommend the books to other readers. Again, this could work because it is using an interesting fact that can grab the reader's attention into the essay. Grabber worksheet. Directions. Read the topic statement given for each question and write a one-sentence grabber for the topic. Remember, a good grabber statement can include a question, exclamation, powerful statement, or a well-known quote or saying. I'll do the first one on the next page. So the first question says for the topic, the success of the Harry Potter series. So my grabber can be a question or a well-known quote or an exclamation. So I'm going to make mine a question. So my grabber says, did you know that Harry Potter is one of the most successful book series, selling approximately 450 million books worldwide? And this can...
We are going to talk about thesis statements and their key components. Thesis statements state the main idea of your essay. It takes your position or opinion on the topic and focuses that into 1 or 2 sentences. Your thesis statement should be easily identifiable and it should be clear and concise. Remember, your thesis statement should state your position. It should be debatable and it should be clearly stated. But it should not be a summary and it should not ask a question. It also shouldn't be unreasonable or insulting to the reader. Here is an example. Gryffindor is the best house because it consists of strong, daring, and courageous people. This states my opinion of the best house at Hogwarts, and it's also debatable. The House of Gryffindor has the best Quidditch team because they are skillful, hardworking, and determined. Again, this topic states my opinion, and it can be debated. It also has my 3 points of persuasion. Harry Potter is one of the best book series because it takes you on a journey. The characters are fun and witty, and the books are suspenseful. Ron and Hermione are great friends because they are loyal to Harry. They are also trustworthy and brave. Harry is one of the strongest characters. He goes through so much, but instead of giving up, he continues with determination to defeat Voldemort. All of these examples state my opinion and position, and they are all debatable. They are examples of how thesis statements work. Since the topic is the best Harry Potter book, I chose what I believe to be the best book. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince is the best book in the series because of its witty characters, suspenseful tone, and its many action scenes.
We will learn about modified thesis statements. A modified thesis statement is a restated thesis statement. It should remind the readers of the opinion on the topic. The modified thesis is very similar to the thesis statements. The only difference is how it's worded. Your modified thesis should include 3 things: what you believe, your opinion, the topic of the essay, and your 3 reasons, details, whatever you want to call it. Now you have to remember that your modified thesis does not have the same words as your thesis statement. In this example, I gave you the thesis statement, which is Gryffindor is the best house because it consists of strong, caring, and courageous people. Now, your modified thesis could be like, the greatest Hogwarts house is Gryffindor because of its courageous quality, its caring people, and strong attributes. Now, you notice how it says, the greatest house is Gryffindor. Gryffindor is the best house. So that would be like the topic. Then one of the reasons is that it has courageous people. It has caring people, and strong attributes, strong. See, those would be your 3 reasons. And I am saying, what I believe is that Gryffindor is the best Hogwarts house. Now, let's start the second example. So for the thesis statement for the second example would be, the House of Gryffindor has the best Quidditch team because they're skillful, hardworking, and determined. Now, your modified thesis would be, Gryffindor's Quidditch team is by far the best one because they work hard, they are determined to be the best they can, and because they are skillful. Now, the topic would be that Gryffindor's Quidditch team is the best, or which team would you think is the best? Your opinion is that Gryffindor, the team, is the best. Now, your 3 reasons is because they are hardworking, they work hard, they are determined to be the best they can, they are determined, and because they are skillful. Now, in your third example, this thesis statement would be, Harry Potter is the best book series because it takes you on a journey. The characters are witty and fun, and the books are suspenseful. Now, your modified thesis statement would be, the series Harry Potter is the best because of the way that it takes you on a journey with witty and fun characters and how the books leave you on the edge of your seat wanting more. Now, your topic would be, is Harry Potter the best book or Harry Potter is the best book, my opinion is that yes, Harry Potter is the best book. Now my 3 reasons are because it takes you on a journey and it has witty and fun characters, and because it's suspenseful, it leaves you on the edge of your seat. You always want to more and more. Okay, so the first example topic is that Muggleborns and purebloods should be treated equally. And so a thesis statement is that Muggleborns and purebloods were both chosen to become a witch or wizard. Sometimes Muggleborns can in fact be smarter and better than purebloods, like Hermione. And another reason is that both Muggleborns and purebloods have different types of knowledge in the world, and therefore both blood types should be treated equally. A modified thesis for that is that both Muggleborns and purebloods are equal because of the fact that each witch and wizard was chosen to have magic. In some cases, Muggleborns can be smarter and should not be discriminated because of that. And the third reason is that together they can bring new knowledge into the world because of their past experiences. The second topic is that Harry Potter is a dynamic character. And the thesis statement for that is that throughout the books, Harry Potter changed and became a dynamic character because he learned how to become a leader. He changed his beliefs and began to believe in magic and other supernatural things. And lastly, Harry Potter became braver and more assertive. A modified thesis for that is that because Harry Potter began to believe in magic, he became a leader, he became braver and assertive. Harry is a dynamic character. The third topic is that Voldemort became evil because of his bad childhood. The thesis is that Voldemort was not evil by nature, but more by nurture, because he was abandoned as a child, he was bullied by other kids in the orphanage, and he did not have anybody to rely on. The modified thesis could be that as a child, Voldemort was abandoned, bullied, and he did not trust anybody, and that is why he became evil, not because he was born like that. The fourth topic is that the Harry Potter series is not a good influence on children. The thesis says that the Harry Potter series can cause kids to be more rebellious, it may teach them to believe in witchcraft, and it can give them false beliefs. And because of this, it is a bad influence on children. Now my modified thesis would say something like, the Harry Potter books and series, let's change that to movies, can have a bad influence on young people because it can teach them to be more rebellious, like Harry was. And it can make them believe in witchcraft, and it can give them a false set of beliefs. Now, the fifth topic is to compare and contrast house elves and slaves. My thesis says that house elf slavery relates to real-life slavery in many ways. One way is that the elf can be set free if the master gives it a piece of clothing. Another reason is that some masters can be very kind to their elves, and it is very unlikely in real-life slavery. But house elf slavery is common for the rich, as it is real-life slavery. Now, my modified thesis could say something like this. Now, my modified thesis says that house elf slavery is very similar, but is also very different to real-life slavery. One example is that the elf's master can set it free by giving it to a piece of clothing. The second difference is that some masters can be very kind to their elves. Unlike real-life slave masters. One similarity is that house elf slavery is very common among the rich, just like real-life slavery. Okay, so in this practice, your modified thesis needs to have your opinion, your 3 reasons, and the topic of the sentence. Remember, your modified thesis is not the same as your thesis. In this practice, you will be giving a topic, a thesis statement, and you will need to write the modified thesis statement. For example, the topic is the Gryffindor Quidditch team is better than Hufflepuff's. The thesis is that the Gryffindor's Quidditch is by far more superior to Hufflepuff's Quidditch team due to the fact that Gryffindor has better players, they have won more games, including several Quidditch Cups, and the Hufflepuff team does not have the determination that Gryffindor has. Modified thesis. Hufflepuff's Quidditch team does not have players as good as Gryffindor's. They have not won as much games as Gryffindor, and their team does not have the same determination that Gryffindor does.